Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Redberryweo here, and welcome back to another quick Civil Air Patrol video. For today's video, we are talking about a couple of misconceptions about Civil Air Patrol. And thank you, Brianna, for the wonderful recommendation. And if you would like to make a recommendation for a video, you can leave it in the comments and I'll take a look and I'll maybe put something together. So, for the first misconception, some people think that you have to be a member of the military, either active duty or retired, in order to join, or that if you join Civil Air Patrol, you are committing yourself to joining the military. Neither of these are true. So sometimes people do join with prior military service or they're currently serving the country, and that's great. If they would like to, that's perfectly fine, and they can actually get the equivalent grade of their current or previous service in Civil Air Patrol. So like if they're a captain in the Army, then they could be a captain in Civil Air Patrol. And they just have to complete a couple of training requirements and then they can do that. And then on the other side of it, thinking that joining Civil Air Patrol means you are required to join the military is also not true. Civil Air Patrol is a volunteer organization and you can join as early as the age of 12. Civil Air Patrol is not expecting people at the age of 12 to be like, yes, I am signing up to join the military. Yes, Civil Air Patrol does wear U.S. Air Force style uniforms. That is true. And we wear a uniform because we're all working together to accomplish Civil Air Patrol's missions. And by being uniform, we're working together as a team. And we are representing the organization together as we wear the uniform. So yes, we do wear uniforms, we do follow customs and courtesies. These are all tools to help facilitate a really well-structured, organized, and respectful training environment for everyone who is involved with the organization. And just in general, since Civil Air Patrol is a volunteer organization, people don't have to stay. They are allowed to leave. They're volunteers. They're not signing a contract in order to join. Yes, you pay a due to join, but you are not signing something saying, I will serve X number of years. That is not at all what Civil Air Patrol is. You just join and you can serve and be in the organization volunteering for as long as you'd like. The next one is that Civil Air Patrol is a flight club or you have to be a pilot to join. Again, these are not true. Civil Air Patrol does facilitate flying, and there are corporate missions where Civil Air Patrol might be flying specific missions for Civil Air Patrol. They might be flying for like a Department of Emergency Management to capture aerial footage of damage from a natural disaster. They might be flying a mission in support of the Air Force. Like sometimes Civil Air Patrol planes go into like a restricted flight area and then they have an interception from a military aircraft to help train those military aircraft with an actual scenario. And there are a lot of flying opportunities if you're not a pilot. Like if you want to be a mission scanner or mission observer on the senior member side, then you can do those. Or aerial photographer. You can do those things, and Civil Air Patrol will help pay for that training, and you will not have to pay for those flights. You just have to pay for your gas to get your car over to the airport and have a uniform, because you're required to wear a uniform in the plane. And as a cadet, you get 5 free orientation rides. 5 free glider, 5 free powered. So that's really cool too. You do not have to pay for orientation rides when you're a cadet. You can also get flight scholarships. So yes, there is a large component to Civil Air Patrol and flying. And that's part of one of Civil Air Patrol's key missions of aerospace education, which is where Civil Air Patrol really wants to promote STEM-related careers, and especially aviation, to inspire future pilots, researchers, and scientists in different fields that really help aerospace and education within the country. And so, that is why Civil Air Patrol has the flying component to it. But you don't have to be a pilot in order to join. That's not a requirement. And if you are a pilot, then you can take your flight hours and say, hey, I would like to be a pilot in Civil Air Patrol, and you just undergo an evaluation. It's called your Form 5, and you have to have a specific pilot with you who is Form 5 evaluator status in Civil Air Patrol. They'll fly with you and they'll say, great, you meet the requirements, you just have to understand the whole system with the paperwork with Civil Air Patrol and flying, and then you're good to go and you're signed off. Check mark. You are a pilot for Civil Air Patrol. You could be a transport pilot, or you could even be flying cadets, depending on how many hours you have and what certifications you have as a pilot. The next one is you get paid to be a member. I highlighted this a little bit earlier in the video. Civil Air Patrol is made up of volunteers. Therefore, if you join Civil Air Patrol, you should not expect any monetary compensation. However, Civil Air Patrol is a very rewarding program in the opportunities that it has to provide. And it has a lot of great people in it that are willing to work with you, because they're all volunteers. You're working with volunteers. So everyone is there to work together in support of those different mission areas. So I mentioned aerospace education. Another one is emergency services. I kind of mentioned to that. I alluded to it, but I didn't directly say emergency services. And there's also cadet programs. So everyone's working together towards those missions and doing their best to support the organization. The next one is that Civil Air Patrol is just scouts in uniform, and that is not the case. Civil Air Patrol has some very unique relationships with like the Air National Guard, different military branches, and there are opportunities to do military aircraft orientation rides sometimes, like riding in a Black Hawk or a Chinook, or like getting a static display of like a C-130. Those are really cool things, and a lot of times scouts don't really get to do that kind of stuff. There's also emergency services. I mentioned that. Scouts do not do search and rescue operations. Sometimes Civil Air Patrol works together with local search and rescue units of different organizations to look for downed aircraft or missing people, or just generally trying to support wellness checks. Yes, Scouts does some STEM stuff and aerospace education. Civil Air Patrol has planes. It has a whole fleet of Cessnas. Scouts do not have that. Just plain and simple. So, Civil Air Patrol is not scouts in uniforms. Yes, we wear uniforms. And we do some similar things, but Civil Air Patrol is definitely different from any scouting experience people may have. And the next one that I'm going to mention is that CAP takes a lot of time to be involved. And what I will say to that is that you get what you put into it. So if you don't put in a lot of time into Civil Air Patrol, you're not going to get a lot out of it. But if you put in time and dedication, you try to learn new things, get to know a lot of people, you'll get a lot out of the program. Like for me, when I first joined, I was a very introverted small one. I was a wee child that was 12. And I was not really comfortable with public speaking. I was organized, but I didn't really go out of my way to do things and take initiative. Civil Air Patrol taught me those key skills. And I got to lead like an enormous activity when I was 17. And that's normally something that people do when they're like in their 30s. Pretty cool stuff. So Civil Air Patrol has a lot of opportunities. And if you don't seek out those opportunities, then you may not get as much out of the program. But please know that you get what you put into it. And the final one that I would like to mention is some people could be too old to join the organization. That is not true. There is not an age limit to the membership of people joining. There is a minimum age of 12, and if you join after you turn 18, then you have to be a senior member. But there is no maximum limit of age. And regardless of what your previous experience is, you are welcome to join the organization. Like if you are in your mid-70s and you're just looking for something fun to do in your time, Civil Air Patrol is a great thing to do. It's fun, and we have people of all sorts of ages, experiences, backgrounds, and it's a very cool way to just be part of the community and volunteer. So that was all I wanted to say for this video. I might do another misconceptions video if I see more out there, but those were the major ones that I really wanted to address in this video. And Brianna, shout out again. Thank you for the idea. I do appreciate when you guys give me input of things that you would like to see and ideas that you think could really help others. So thank you for helping others, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and that is all, folks. Until next time. Toodles.